aboard! Yeah!
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the championship game of the Solano Invitational. The Rockville Rockhounds, the #1 seed in this tournament, are facing off against the Fairfield Indians. My name is Brian Nelson, and in unprecedented events here on the Solano College Sports Network, I'm actually producing the broadcast right now. And hopefully we'll be joined by our broadcaster, Soad Balazi. But until then, you get to enjoy my lovely voice as I'll give you the starting lineups. First for the #2 seed, Fairfield Indians. Leading off will be Timion Hughes, the center fielder. Alex Peppard, the shortstop, will be batting second. The DH Davey Duncan will be batting third. Ian Acosta catching will be batting cleanup. Jason Paquet, is the third baseman. He'll be batting fifth. Jojo Quintanilla in right. He'll be batting sixth. Sean Jackson, the first baseman, will be batting seventh. James Fox, second baseman, will be batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup is Tyler Thornley, the former Solano Falcon, in left. Connor Caporal will be pitching. And on the mound for the Rockhounds, as you see there, is Rylan Haney. And looks like Haney is finishing up his warm-up tosses. And up comes Timion Hughes. So Rylan Haney will be pitching for the Rockhounds, who went 3-1, as well as the Fairfield Indians did. Haney's first pitch is swung on, popped up sky high. Haney underneath it, and he reaches back and puts it away for out #1. One pitch, one out. So that brings up Alex Peppard, the third baseman. The Indians beat NBO Baseball in the semifinals 11-8 to reach this point in the tournament, as Haney's fastball is taken high by Peppard. 1 ball, no strike. While the Rockhounds earlier today, behind the arm of Carson Hawes, defeated the Solano Mudcats. Peppard takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Hawes was excellent for the Rally Factory Rockhounds. His last start here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium, for the time being, was 6 innings, 13 punch-outs, as that tapper right back to Haney, and Peppard is thrown out for out #2. So the pitcher on the bump has made the first 2 fielding outs. Don't see that too often. As Davey Duncan, the DH, batting third, will be digging into the box. Duncan by trade is a catcher, but with the cleanup hitter Ian Acosta also catching, he'll be DHing, 6'3", 215 out of Holy Names University. And there you get a good look of Rylan Haney. First pitch in there taken for a ball. Probably Haney's best pitch is that changeup. Really gets hitters off balance with that off-speed pitch. Mixing speeds will be key for Haney, as that one is lifted into foul territory high. Underneath it, though, is St. Martin, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Rally Factory Rockhounds. As we head to the bottom of the first, Dominic Fossilina, Willie Hamza, and Max Smith do up for the Rockhounds. So Dominic Fossalina, the left fielder, due up first. He takes a first pitch strike in there, behind the count, 0-1. So Fossalina, out of University of Utah, has been excellent this summer out of the leadoff hole. Great contact hitter. He'll be followed by Willie Holmza, Max Smith, Grant St. Martin in the cleanup spot, Kevin Sandry in the 5-hole, Jack Priddy batting 6th, Mickey Nunez batting 7th. As Fossalina grounds that sharply to the third baseman, he knocks it down, Pocky, and he just eats that one. So Fossalina in there with the infield single. So that brings up switch hitting Willie Holmza from the right side. In the semifinal, he went deep for a 3-run shot. Very impressive by this middle infielder that's very versatile, as the pitcher checked on Fossalina standing at first. Caporal, the right-hander. Again, snap throw, Fossalina back in time. So Caporal getting a close eye on Fossalina at first, keeping him close. Is that one taken high? Ball 1. And sometimes when you have a fast runner like Fossalina, all the attention is on the runner. Is that one taken high as well? Pitchers can lose a little bit of concentration on the hitter. And we've seen Caporal fall behind Hamza now, 2-0. That one smacked high. That should be plenty of room for Hughes in center for out number 1. So that brings up Max Smith, outfielder out of UNLV, playing right field here in this championship game for the Solano Invitational. Our second time now broadcasting the championship game of the Solano Invitational. That one foul tipped back. So Caporal ahead of Smith, 0-1 here with 1 out. Runner at first in Fossalina. Caporal being very deliberate, goes home. That one chopped to the second baseman. That's going to advance the runner as a spin throw gets Smith. Fossalina will advance an extra 90 feet on the fielder's choice. So that brings up Grant St. Martin with a runner in scoring position, and we've seen a lot of pop out of the first baseman here out of Sonoma State. We've seen him play the outfield. We've even seen him pitch. Very versatile player for the Rockhounds. Takes that first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. So Caporal trying to keep this game all knotted at 0 apiece as St. Martin takes that pitch high, 1-1. That breaking ball just ahead of it was St. Martin, and he loops that one foul. 1-2. On deck is Kevin Sandry, the shortstop. So 1-2 count. Caporal has a couple of pitches here to play with to try to put away St. Martin. He goes with the fastball away. That's taken for ball 2. So good battle here from the cleanup hitter St. Martin, trying to put the first run across for the Rockhounds. That one in the dirt. Good take. Fossalina goes, and it was an excellent read by Fossalina over there at second as that one bounced very high. Even though the catcher Acosta blocked it, the ricochet off of the catcher's gear was so high, it allowed Fossalina to get a great jump and take that 90 feet pretty easily. You have to be very sure of yourself if you're going to go for that extra 90 feet with 2 outs. You don't want to make that last out on a base running mistake over at third. So you have to be very sure of yourself as St. Martin dribbles to the shortstop. Little crow hop by Peppard, and he throws out St. Martin. So that threat is nullified by Caporal. Rally Factory Rockhounds, or excuse me, Rockville Rockhounds, strand 1. We are headed to the top of the second. Due up will be Ian Acosta, Jason Paquet, and Jojo Quintanilla. There you get a good look at former Falcon Ian Acosta momentarily. There he is as the Texas A&M International University catcher. Was a catcher here for 2 years. Excellent defender. His bat really woke up his sophomore year. Became very dependable as he looks at that first pitch ball. Obviously, the Fairfield Indians feel very confident in his bat as there you look at the sophomore Rylan Haney finish up his sophomore year with the Solano Falcons as that one was taken high, ball 2. So former teammates. It was Haney's freshman year with Acosta's sophomore. Oh no, actually their paths wouldn't have crossed. Acosta's been out of the program for a couple years now as that was taken for a strike, 2-1. And the Falcons have done an excellent job of producing catchers. Ian Acosta, as that one's taken inside for ball 3. Andres Quijada, Briar Litz, and this past year, Jared Denning. Solano's done an excellent job of finding good catchers, both defensively and with Denning, Acosta specifically, offensively as well. As Acosta ahead in the count, 3-1. Easy take for Acosta, and he walks on 5 pitches. So leadoff walk drawn by the Indians. Definitely got to like that if you're on the Indian side of things. So that brings up Jason Paquet. At Contra Costa College, playing third base here this afternoon. Squares around a bunt. That one is dropped down right in front of Haney. He'll take the out he is given and throws it over to first for out number 1. So that small ball approach Definitely not an unfamiliar sight for SCSN viewers, as over on the other side of things, Coach Stover is definitely one to sacrifice, especially middle-of-the-order hitters like Paquet was, being a 5-hole hitter. Take the sacrifice, advance the extra 90 feet, and now trust your lineup. And somebody the Falcons have trusted in the past, Jojo Quintanilla, as that one scores out of the hand of Haney, and it just drifts over the head of Quintanilla. Now, these two were former teammates last year, as Jojo Quintanilla is now at Saddleback College, but he played last year for the Falcons. That one lifted to the outfield. Nunez on the run. It will go over his head all the way to the fence. Quintanilla on his horse. He rounds second. He will slide safely into third with the RBI triple. So that triple scores Ian Acosta, as Quintanilla with a clutch 1-out triple. So that brings up Sean Jackson, left-handed hitting first baseman. Also out of Contra Costa Community College. Haney, that one high. And so Frazier, the catcher, will take a moment to talk to his pitcher as he's noticing a trend. Haney's been high this half inning after going 1-2-3, setting down Hughes, Peppard, and Duncan in order. He's given up a walk to Acosta. Acosta advanced to second on the Paquet sac bunt, and Quintanilla drove him home with a triple. That one in there for a strike. 1-1. On deck is second baseman James Fox for the Indians. Fairfield Indians lead 1-0. That chopper to the first baseman Grant St. Martin. He thought about throwing home. He'll take it to first himself. So that is an RBI ground out. So Indians lead 2-0. And that's the productive kind of at-bat that you'd like to see. Don't do too much. You have a runner at third with less than 2 outs. This is a prime run scoring opportunity for Jackson, and he simply just tapped it over to that first baseman, St. Martin. It was so slow that it allowed Quintanilla to score easily, as Fox takes that pitch for a strike. Fox going to play at Solano next year. So a preview for SCSN viewers of this second baseman, James Fox. And as I was prepping the broadcast today, I noticed a lot of these names will attend Solano that I was unfamiliar with. So just graduating high school, going to come in to the program, as that one lifted out to Nunez for out number 3. But not before 2 runs come across. Jojo Quintanilla with the big 1 RBI triple, and Sean Jackson scoring him on a ground out. So Indians lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. So Rockhounds have Kevin Sandry due up. And I'm joined finally by Soa Balazzi. So my lonely voice has a broadcast partner here as Sandry looks at a ball. 1-0.
Good to be back in the booth.
Caparol gets Sandry to swing over the top of that. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1. And so they'll get a meeting with Acosta with Caparol. Maybe they got crossed up on that last pitch. Whatever it was, it got Sandry to chase. So
Maybe they're going to see if they can make him chase again.
yeah, well, 1-1's a good count for the pitcher. Wants to get ahead in the count 1-2 here. That breaking ball in there stole strike 2.
That was a great pitch.
Yeah, especially because he hasn't featured that so far in the game. In a 1-1 count, you're not looking for that big, long, slow, sweeping curve in there. So nothing Sandry could do but take that as he fouls that one off, stays live 1-2.
Right now, Sanji's just trying to stay alive, being behind 1 and 2 in the count right now. Definitely not trying to see that curveball again. Buckled his knees a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it does too. It speeds up the fastball because you, in the back of your mind, you're waiting for that slow hanging curve like that one, and he just used that go-go gadget swing as he just stayed alive. Emergency hack. On deck is Jack Pridey. Should Sandry reach, and Mickey Nunez, the center fielder, are the 3 due up. This half inning is that one taken high, 2-2.
Great job for Sandry to work it from, the 1-1 to now 2-2. Still a pitcher's friendly count with the 2 strikes, but nonetheless, keep staying alive.
Yeah, Caparol still has 1 pitch to play with here to try to get Sandry to chase something out of the zone, but Sandry laces that one to center field, but Hughes drifts underneath it to put it away for out number 1. It was hit well, but right at the defender, Hughes, who has great speed for the Indians. He's led the team in steals the last couple of summers.
I mean, it's hard to say, but it was a great at bat. He worked the count back in his favor kind of, and then he smacked that ball, but right, like you said, right to Hughes. So there's nothing really he could have done except exactly what he did.
So Pridey takes that slow curveball. I think Pridey's going to benefit from that Sandry at bat because he was on deck to view all of the pitches that Caparol featured. That fastball, that slow curve. So he'll have a better idea of what Caparol will be throwing here. 1-0 as that one's chopped over the head of Caparol, but he uses that long reach to snag that one and puts it away himself. 1-3 put out for out number 2.
It's funny watching pitchers jump high for that because sometimes you're just like, if you let it go, your middle infielders can easily get that. But thankfully for, the Indians, that was a quick out. It could have gone ugly quickly.
Yeah. I think he definitely benefits from being a taller pitcher as well, as he has a lot more airspace that he can cover because he's so tall with him jumping. And so the versatile Mickey Nunez playing center field here. We'll take that one high for a ball. We've seen Nunez over at catcher at times during the summer. Lately been playing center quite a bit. Is that one taken low and away? 2-0.
Playing center field really well too. It's his speed too, because he could cover as much. He could cover from center to left in like 2 seconds.
And I know you love player comps, so center fielder, catcher, Craig Biggio, Hall of Famer.
That's a good one.
Famously was a catcher, second baseman, center fielder. As 3-0 to Nunez. Caparol just trying to find the strike zone here, and he does. 4 strike 1. Good take by Nunez. And Nunez checking where specifically in the strike zone that was. I think that's just the catcher in him. Always wants to establish that strike zone. That one in there. Virtually same location. 3-2.
Nunez also kind of a hothead, for the Rockhounds. He got ejected I think 2 games ago or so. It was his last at bat, I believe, in the 8th inning. And Ironically, he was actually the best by player of the game, but because he was ejected, Stover said that we can't give it to him. And you know, Carson, he was named the best by, and he did okay with the 8 innings, you know, 2 runs, 100,000 strikeouts. So it wasn't that hard to find another one.
Yeah. And Carson pitched an excellent game earlier this afternoon in the semifinal game. 6 strong innings, a career high 13 strikeouts in 6 innings to get the Rockhounds to this point, as they defeated the Solano Mudcats in the semifinals. Like I said earlier, Fairfield Indians defeated NBO Baseball. All 4 of those teams were 2-1 in pool play, as that pickoff attempt was very close, but Nunez just in there. Caparola thought he got him momentarily, started running off, but the umpire, second base umpire, called him safe. Vinny Margiotta up at bat, the second baseman, formerly out of University of Pacific. Played last year with Solano, and he skies that to Hughes, and Hughes just put that away. Difficult high fly ball into the clear skies of Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium, but Hughes stayed under it, puts it away, out number 3. Rockhounds go scoreless in the bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. Due up will be Tyler Thornley, Timian Hughes, and Alex Peppard. Tyler Thornley, the former Solano Falcon. I believe he will still be going to Solano, hopefully, in the upcoming season, as he's listed as going to Solano still. Out of Hawaii, flying Hawaiian. Is that one taken for a ball?
It's really cool to see these kids from Solano playing on different teams. You don't have to play for the Rockhounds in the summer. There's so many other teams that you could play for.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 teams featured a lot of Solano players, obviously with the Solano Mudcats, Fairfield Indians, Rockville Rockhounds, all pretty local. Is that one taken high and in, ball 3, 2-1. So Haney try to get in the strike zone against Thornley, 2-2. Not want to fall behind the 9th place hitter. Last half inning, he walked Ian Acosta to lead off the inning, and those leadoff walks usually come back to bite you, and it did in that last inning. So you want to get Thornley as he slowly taps out over to Margiotta, and Margiotta, strong throw, gets the speedy Thornley for out number 1.
It looked like an easy play because that's what Vinny does. He usually makes hard plays look easy, but the Rockhounds love Vinny at second base because he makes plays like that, and he makes them look, like I said, very easy.
Yeah, it's definitely a plus to have such a strong arm over at second base, because some second basemen, you're at second base because you don't have a shortstop's arm or a third baseman's arm, but we've seen Vinny play both of those positions, and so he definitely has the arm strength, and he showed it there as Hughes tried to bunt that one, try to sneak his way onto first base, but he bunts it foul for strike 1. Trying to utilize his speed to get on the base paths.
I like that. I like that play. You see Hamza playing regular third base depth, and why not?
Yeah, at the very least, now Holmes has to play in to respect the bunt, and should he slap something over his head, he gets him in bad position as Hughes chops it to Margiotta again. Quick throw gets Hughes, so an active half inning of defense from Margiotta. 2 groundouts, 2 outs.
I mean, we call third base, first base the hot corners, obviously, but second base, I mean, it doesn't get as much pop like speed-wise, but those little dribblers that come to you and they have to be quick, bare hand, you're going to glove it, then flip it, you're going to do this. It's a lot of thinking, and you got to be on your toes if you're a second baseman.
You definitely don't want to be thinking.
Like,
You just want to be
like you already know.
Yeah, instinctively making the baseball play, and that's what Vinny did. He kind of felt Hughes's speed. It didn't overwhelm him. He just knew he had to transfer quicker than he normally would, and so he was able to get Hughes. So 2 routine plays looked routine, but they definitely were anything but that. As Pepar, the shortstop, takes a 2-0 count. He grounded out to Haney, his first at-bat, as he sneaks that one in there for strike 1, 2-1. Fairfield Indians lead 2-1 here in the Solano Invitational Championship game as that one is lifted high into foul territory. Hamza's calling off everybody. He puts it away for out number 3. So that will do it for us here in the top of the third. Indians go scoreless, but they still lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. Brent Frazier, and then back to the top of the lineup with Dominic Fossalina and Willie Homza. Back here in the bottom of the third, Brant Frazier, catcher out of Rice University, steps in the batter's box against Connor Caparol. Caparol in there for a ball just inside to Frazier. Caparol has surrendered just 1 hit, that Dominic Fossalina infield single, as well as 1 walk. Even count to Brant Frazier, 1-1. That curveball in there, strike 2. I have a feeling those Rockhounds are going to be seeing a lot of that curveball here this afternoon. That one chopped over to third base. Little crow hop, and he is put away by Paquet. Out number 1. And so it's not exactly urgency here, but the rules of this tournament has been 7-inning games, as there were 7 teams in this Solano Invitational. They had to get all these games in time, so they shortened it from 9 to 7. They had a time limit that no new inning can start after 2 hours and 5 minutes. Not sure if they changed it at all for the championship game as, like, hey, it's the last game. Might as well go all 9. But we're under the assumption that this is a 7-inning game. So here at the bottom of the third is just about the halfway point. Fosslina chops that one foul. Even count 1-1.
Will this be when you play Take Me Home? What is it called? Take Me to the Ballpark?
Oh, Take Me to the Ball
There you
Game?
go.
Yeah.
My brain just melted for a second.
It is pretty hot out here. That one just taken for a ball. That curveball missed to Fosslina. 2-1.
You know, I have a lot of excuses. I did just come from work, and then I was hitting at least 110 miles per hour to make it here on time. Didn't, of course, but I'm here.
That one fouled off. 2-2. Yeah, I'd like to thank our crew. We had a short crew here. Josh Kinder and Chelsea Williams, former alum, all over on cameras. And Anthony Williams took over producing for me, so I didn't have to produce and announce. I appreciated that. I said about 2 sentences before I started getting overwhelmed.
I mean, we've seen you do the scoreboard and produce, and that was really hard, so I can only imagine how you can call a game and produce.
Yeah, exactly. So Fosslina strikes out swinging. So that is the first strikeout for Caparol, as that brings up the switch hitting Willie Homza. He flew out to Hughes his first at-bat, and he takes that pitch for a ball. 2-0 is your score. That one chopped over to second base. Easy play for Fox, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. Caparol's first 1-2-3 inning here, as Rockhounds go scoreless in the bottom of the third. The Indians lead 2-0 as we go to the top of the fifth with Davey Duncan, Ian Acosta, and Jason Pauke due up.
Welcome back, everyone.
I was just about to hand off the reins to Soan here for play-by-play, but just take them.
Sorry, I don't need to wait for anyone. I'm just kidding. I just like to jump the gun. I like to embarrass myself and those around me. I'm going to start over. Welcome back, everyone. It's 2-0 in the fourth inning here. Ryland back on the mound. Ian Duncan now stepping up to the plate. Smacks that ball into center field. Nunez is under it and catches for out number 1.
One pitch, 1 out. Gotta love that if you're Haney, especially last couple half innings been a little shaky with his control, been leaving some pitches up out of the strike zone. So Duncan flying out on 1 pitch definitely benefits Haney out there.
Ian Acosta is stepping up to the plate. Smacks that ball. Nunez is under it. Dominic Fosslina comes out of nowhere and makes the play. So that is out number 2. So a quick 2 outs for Rylan Heaney.
Yeah, 2 pitches, 2 outs. Better than 1 pitch, 1 out. But Fossilina just was on his horse. You could see that hair blowing in the wind as he was in, as Acosta got jammed on that pitch, and it just kind of fluttered into shallow left center. So both Nunez and Fossilina were hustling to try to get over there, but Fossilina, his speed would have allowed him to get under that one in time for out number 2.
Took that pitch for a strike. So there goes the 3-pitch, 3 out.
Yeah. can't be too perfect, I guess. Jason Paquet in his first at bat sack bunted Ian Acosta over, who had walked to lead off the 2nd inning, and Acosta went around to score.
Quick 0-2 count. So couldn't get the first pitch to be the 3rd out, but he worked that count to 0-2 for Rylan Heaney. A little outside, 1-2 the count. And to go back on the Dominic Fossilina and Mickey Nunez, it's great to have speed out there in the outfield. Usually you mostly see speed like the top speed in center field, but Dominic has speed too, as that ball is lined right in front of Mickey Nunez for a base hit.
So I just noticed something. I think I was on mute for this entire half inning up until now. When I edit this later, I'll go double check that, but apologize for the technical difficulty there.
I really hope I wasn't talking to myself.
Yeah, you could have. Maybe my voice was booming so loud that it picked up on your mic, but I don't know. I just don't know. And Jojo Quintanilla had the biggest hit of this game. He drove in Acosta on a big triple.
Bunts that. Rylan barehands it, throws, and St. Martin picks it for the 3rd out. So no harm, no done in this inning. Great play for Rylan Heaney to just barehand and throw it to St. Martin. And we will be right back in the bottom of the 4th inning. Welcome back, everyone. We're here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Indians lead 2-0. Top of the 4th inning ended with a great play by Rylan Heaney.
Yeah, we were talking about it during the break. It was just an excellent play by Heaney, because the natural motion of a right-hander falls off to the first base side for him to be still in an athletic position to go field his position. And that bunt had so much funky spin on it that when he barehanded it, he didn't have the best grip of it. That's why it kind of was a low throw over to first, but he was able to make that play.
Max Smith now steps up to the plate, took the first pitch for a ball.
And hopefully all of that was recorded and I was not on mute.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure I'm not on mute anymore.
2-0 the count now to Smith. Smith, one of the big guys in the lineup.
Yeah, I think this is the part of the lineup that needs to do damage here. Because when you have 3, 4, 5 due up and you're down, I think they don't necessarily need to tie the game, but just to score a run across to feel like the offense is productive. Definitely a big half inning here.
The count definitely is a hitter's count for Smith, 3-1. Last pitch was a strike.
And I don't think Smith's mad at that. He definitely has the power to leave Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium.
That ball is hit way into right field and drops, and that's a fair ball. So Smith rounds first, heads to second, rounds second, on his way to third, and he will be there safely as a stop sign is held up for Smith. Look like, you know.
Yeah, Quintanilla over and right just had a lot of difficulty with it, and when he kicked it, it took a bad bounce over further into foul territory, so that let Smith take that extra 90 feet pretty easy. It's really deep in those two outfield corners, so whenever a ball gets kind of into the...
It's like Triple's Alley.
Yeah, it's exactly like Triple's Alley because it's so deep that the throw to the cutoff man is so far that it's just really a stand-up triple every single time.
Grain St. Martin now steps up to the plate. He offers at the first pitch. Quintanilla is under it, and he makes the catch. Smith tags at third, and he will score. Cuts the lead from 2-1 now.
And that was good heads-up base running there by Max Smith. As Quintanilla, when he fielded that ball, his motion was kind of drifting over to the foul territory. It wasn't going straight ahead towards home plate, so that throw, he kind of had to make a small adjustment in order to make an accurate throw, and so that split second allowed Smith to score.
Sandri smacks that ball into center field, splits the outfielders. He's heading for second, and he'll stay there safely with a stand-up double as the ball gets away, but not far enough for him to advance to third.
Yeah, so overthrown cutoff man by Quintanilla.
Just not an inning for the outfield, honestly.
Yeah, and I think the Rockhounds really are fortunate to capitalize on these mistakes as well. With Smith, he reached on the error, and there Sandri could have gone an extra 90 feet, but I think it was smart to be safe. You're in scoring position, you're down, so you have to make sure your base running sound. We've seen a lot of base running mistakes over the summer, so I think it's smart to kind of play it safe. Allow Jack Pridey, who's a good hitter behind you, and just trust your lineup, trust your teammates.
You never want to make, I know the rule is the first and third out at third, but you never want to make an out in general at third, especially with, Captain Jack Pridey up there. More than capable to drive you in as he took the first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, I personally thought Sandri had 3 without any defensive miscues just because he hit it so perfectly between right and center field that it was going to go to the wall. But Sandri obviously settled at second, and prime opportunity for Jack Pridey to try to score him.
Down by 1. You got to be safe than sorry. I know Stover's thinking that too.
Yeah, that can just be a momentum deflator where you had the momentum.
Sandri does go, and he's safe at third. The ball gets away, and Sandri will score easily on that play. So Jack Pridey did nothing on that. That was all Sandri. Stole on third, an error, and then came around to score. So it's now 2-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, excellent base running by Sandri. He got a huge jump.
That was a beautiful jump.
Yeah, he read Caparol's move. Caparol had been looking at him once and then going home. So as soon as Caparol turned his head to go back to that pitch, and he picked the perfect pitch to run on as well.
Jack Pridey offers at that pitch. It's going foul, and it does indeed go foul.
Yeah, it hit the fence. Jackson almost made that play there, but the pitch selection ended up benefiting Sandri as well as it was a big looping curveball that Caparol has been throwing. So Acosta had to try to hurry that throw to try to throw out Sandri, and he just made an errant throw, couldn't get it into the glove of the third baseman, and so that allowed Sandri to score the tying run.
And you have a right-handed hitter too, so he's blocking your view from third base, so it's not as easy as if Pridey were a left-handed hitter.
Absolutely.
1-2 the count to Jack Pridey. He smacks that ball past the third baseman, and he'll be at first safely with a single. So the inning will continue to roll. Like Brian said, the 3, 4, 5 hitters did their job. Now it's the bottom of the order's job to continue the train.
Yeah, absolutely. For Mickey Nunez here and Vinny Margiotta. More contact hitters, so this momentum is going to be more of a slow burn than a oh, somebody hit a 3-run home run. But definitely the Rockhounds have gotten 2 here. They've capitalized on defensive miscues by the Fairfield Indians, and there's only 1 out, so a lot of momentum on the side of the Rockhounds.
Mickey Nunez steps up to the plate, takes the first pitch for a strike. It is tied now 2-2, so it's basically like a nothing ball game all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Both bullpens have some activity, as this shortened game will dictate. If this is the 4th, then the 5, 6, 7 become the 7, 8, 9. So wouldn't be shocked if you see either side go to the bullpen this early in the ball game.
Smacks that ball past the third baseman. Pridey advances to second, and Nunez stays at first with a single.
Now, typically, if I would say this was a Solano Falcons season, I would 10 times out of 10, I would say this would be a sack bunt situation. But we've seen in the summer that Stover allows the guys to be a little bit more free swinging. So I'm not sure if the sack bunt will be on here, especially because you have the 9-hole hitter due up after Margiota. But it could be in the back of the Fairfield Indians' minds, as they haven't been the crisp defensively in this half inning.
And like you said, that is Stover's kind of that's how he plays the ball. He does the small ball, and small ball wins you games. This is a sack bunt. You got to take one for the team kind of thing. You just move them over, get them in. Don't worry about how your stats look. Worry about how the team looks in general. Yeah,
and Vinny led the team in sack bunts in the regular season for the Solano Falcons. He has excellent back control, and he also has excellent speed, and he hustles every single time he's out there. So if anybody can lay down a sack bunt and even maybe reach, it'd be Vinny. So I definitely think a sack bunt could definitely benefit the Rockville Rockhounds right here. But then you got to entrust Brant Frazier, because then it'd be 2 outs. You have to get a big 2-out hit if he sacrifices himself.
So Vinny now steps up to the plate.
So a lot of discussions there in that the Fairfield Indians obviously had a meeting at the mound with their manager, their defense, the Rockville Rockhounds to do the same. So a lot of baseball chess going on in this half inning.
Let's see if Vinny does indeed sacrifice himself. Caporal throws. Vinny shows bunt, pulls back.
I definitely think that was a right pitch to throw first pitch if you're Caporal, because the best pitches to bunt are straight fastballs. Those looping breaking balls, although they're slower, they have such weird spin to it that they can be a little bit more difficult to bunt.
0-1 the count to Vinny. In the dirt. Blocked. 1-1 the count.
And there you go. David Gustafson over in the Indians bullpen area, warming up out of South Nazarene University. So should trouble keep coming for Caporal, you could see a pitching change here.
So the count is even for Vinny Margiota. Runners on second and third. Little check smack ball foul, so it's 1-2 the count. That was kind of I didn't want to swing, but I already swing. Like, gotta go.
Yeah. You already committed yourself, so just might as well make contacts.
Vinny not really happy with him, giving himself an unnecessary kind of strike. But like we've said about him throughout the summer, throughout the Solano Falcons, is he's capable of coming back from a 0-2 deficit.
And I think that little check swing too also could have been him hoping to do the kind of swinging bunt where you kind of make a little bit of contact and just kind of make a slow chopper over to third, so the third baseman has to field it. Obviously can't tag the runner at second Pridey in time.
Smacks that ball foul. So Vinny staying alive up there. 1-2 the count here in the bottom of the fourth. We have Pridey at second and Mickey Nunez at first. Only one away here.
Yeah, like I said, this is definitely a rally that's not going to end in a big home run unless you get back to that 3-4-5 of Smith, St. Martin, and Sandry. Actually, Holmes hit a 3-run home run in the semifinal game
Oh.
against the Mudcats. So if you could get it down to that part of the lineup, then the big boppers can maybe drive it home everybody. But here, Margiota just has to keep the momentum going and keep the train moving here with 2-2.
Vinny smacks that ball into the hole. Jack Pridey rounds third. He's being waved, and he will score easily. No, he's not scoring easily. He's out on that as the ball beat him.
Yeah, JoJo with the strong arm, and that was a picture-perfect, accurate strike to get Pridey. Pridey, not the fleetest of foot, just has average speed, and so Quintanilla read that he was going all the way, so Quintanilla guns him out. 2 outs, but both runners advance an extra 90 feet.
You know, with that, it looked like he would have scored easily, but like you said, JoJo with the amazing arm, amazing throw to bring him at home. Confused me for sure, because I just automatically marked that as a pretty safe. 3-2 now.
Yeah,
Brent Frazier now steps up to the plate.
That's just an excellent baseball play over in right field by Quintanilla. And actually, if you want to look optimistically, you have runners at second and third and 2 outs, and what would happen if Vinny had laid down that sac bunt? There would have been runners at second and third with 2 outs. So
Exactly.
Exact same situation you wanted when you started the at-bat, even though you got the plus with the single. If you're Brent Frazier, you just got to pick up your team and not let that throw affect the confidence and the momentum that's been building this half inning.
And, you know, for the Fairfield Indians, Quintanilla, that was a great pick-me-up for him and his team. You know, he had the costly error, which allowed the inning to continue for them to score and then later on tie. So it's a great pick-me-up for him and the Indians. That looping curve misses, so it's 2-1 the count to Brent Frazier.
Yeah, and as Caparol has been throwing that curveball, it's been less and less accurate as the game has worn on. So that's going to be interesting to see. If he hangs one to one of these big Rockhound hitters, it's going to go a long way.
Smacks that ball into center field. Nunez scores easily. Vinny scores as well, and Brent is on his way to second as that ball trickles away from the catcher, Acosta.
Yeah, Hughes not the same arm as Quintanilla over and right. Quintanilla has the strongest arm by far. But Frazier, excellent 2-out hitting with keeping his approach simple and back up the box. So not doing too much with it. And he got the big 2-out hit that the Rockhounds needed. And now they lead by 2 after coming into this inning trailing by 2.
And it's all started with the Max Smith and we're at St. Martin, Sandry, Pridey, Nunez. It's, again, like you said, it's not the 3-run home runs or anything like that. It's the team playing singles, the get 'em over kind of thing. As Dominic Fosolina steps to the plate, smacks that ball into left field, and it's foul.
Yeah, everybody's doing the Carlton Fisk. Keep that fair, keep that fair.
That was a liner.
Yeah, that hit high off the left field wall over in foul territory. Fosolino 1 for 2, single, struck out.
0-1 count now to Fosolina after that long foul ball. Caparol sets. He throws. Fosolina smacks that ball. And he is out for the 3rd out. The Rockhounds do score. They were down 2-0. Now they're up 4-2, and we will be right back in the top of the 5th inning.
So new pitcher here in the top of the 5th, Kirby Broadbent on the mound. As that first pitch offered to Sean Jackson is fouled back, 0-1. Jackson, he drove home Quintanilla at third with a RBI ground out, and that one is hit softly over to the shortstop, Kevin Sandry, for out number 1. So 1 out for Kirby Broadbent, who's going with the one-button approach, looks like, on his jersey.
I like it.
Good thing you brought an undershirt, otherwise it'd just be like chest hair.
It'd have been like Mike Napoli circa 2000, whenever the Red Sox won.
I speak the truth, Anthony. I know that was shocking, but
that ball is fair, and he is retired for the 2nd out. So a quick 2 outs for Broadbent.
that's exactly what you like to see if you're a Rockhounds fan. A person coming in from the bullpen, getting 2 quick outs, not letting any sort of momentum to the Fairfield Indian side of things after you took the lead in that last half inning. Get your offense back up to play as soon as you possibly can. Keep capitalizing on that momentum.
That ball is smacked into left field. Fasolina seems to be under it, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. So a very, very quick 1-2-3 inning for Broadbent, and now the Rockhounds will hit in the bottom of the 5th inning. All right, welcome back, everyone. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Rockhounds lead the Indians 4-2. William Holmes now steps up to the plate, rocking those high socks today.
An interesting cap roll back on the mound. The Rockhounds made a pitching change that definitely benefited them, as Broadbent went 1-2-3 in the 5th. But the Indians trusting their starting pitcher here in the bottom of the 5th.
That pitch misses. 1-1 the count.
So Holmes popped out, and he grounded out his 2 at-bats.
That ball misses again, so it's 2-1 the count to Holmes. Another big left-hand hitter.
Yeah, Holmes actually a switch hitter. He went yard batting right-handed in the semifinal.
As he smacks that ball to the 3rd baseman, and he is retired for the 1st out.
But definitely the benefit of having such a long rallying inning in the bottom of the 4th is you bring back that heart of the lineup once again in the next half inning. So last half inning, it was 3-4-5 that were due up. Here it's 2-3-4. So Caprol in a little bit of trouble here.
Smith smacks that ball into right field, and he's retired. So a quick 2 outs now for Caparol.
But he's managing a lot better here in the bottom of the 5th than he did in the bottom of the 4th, getting the first 2 out. And definitely I think that error to lead off the fourth inning by Quintanian Wright definitely was deflating for Caparol, and it was just too much for him to stop the bleeding.
St. Martin now steps up to the plate. Took that pitch for a ball, so 1-0 the count here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 0 for 1 with a ground out and a sac fly in his previous at-bats.
And that sac fly scored Max Smith, who was standing at third off that aforementioned error we were just talking about.
Like you said, it was a great heads-up play by Smith to score on that.
Yeah, he could have easily just kind of put his head down after popping that one up so high, but he was hustling right out of the box like he got a hit.
Kind of a check swing, nonetheless a strike, so it's 1-2 the count.
The flags in left center are blowing out, so that definitely benefits a power hitter like Grant St. Martin. If he gets something up in the air, the wind should help him a little bit.
I've seen St. Martin just smack those balls over the left field wall. As he takes that pitch for a ball, Caparol snapping his fingers, fidgeting with his hand.
Yeah, probably because he throws so many curveballs. He just wants to get, I guess, the feeling back in his the fingertips.
St. Martin smacks that ball into left field. Foul, but that's way gone. So that's a foul home run. Does not count for the score, but for his ego, that's a plus.
Yeah, it sounded really nice. It made a lot of people go, ooh.
So another thing, though, about summer that I love is the wooden bats instead of the aluminum because the sounds are so different. I love the sound of a wooden bat. That is a ball. Curveball misses. So St. Martin takes his base with a walk.
Yeah, the Indians dug out and their side of the bleachers not too happy with that call on that curveball inside, but it missed inside. That's the thing about the curveball not being 12-6 is that it kind of loops in from right to left from the pitcher's perspective. So even though the catcher caught it in the strike zone, that means that the pitch had to go around the outside of the plate. It didn't cross the plate itself. So it's just kind of like an optical illusion.
Sanji smacks that ball into left field under it, and he makes the catch for the third out. The Rockhounds are retired. They do not score in this inning, and we will be right back in the top of the sixth. And welcome back, everyone. We're here in the top of the sixth inning, or top of the eighth inning, since we're only doing 7 innings today. Hughes now steps up to the plate. Smacks that ball into right right field. Smith is under it for the first out.
Yeah, these Indians are not taking their time against Broadbent. Last couple innings, in Haney's last inning of work, their first pitch hacking, and it hasn't been working out too well for them.
I think it's Broadbent's one button look that's, scaring
I
them.
know. They're just like, I just want to sit back down at the dugout. Like, I don't want to be in this batter's box against this shirtless man.
Alex Pepper now steps up to the plate. It's the way that he carries himself on the mound, too, though. He just walks nonchalantly, buttoned. He's not even, it's not buttoned, honestly. It's
Yeah. It's unbuttoned and tucked in. It's a weird.
I wish he was wearing a really, really low-cut tank top with, like, a gold chain. That would have been just beautiful. 0-2 the count now to Alex.
But hey, this is baseball. They would have been like, hey, that chain's distracting. You got to put that away.
That's so funny. And you know what? Like, they say a lot of things distracting, and yet no players complain. It's always the umpires.
Yeah.
Or, 2-2 the count now. This game is going by really quickly. Already here in the sixth, like I mentioned. Smacks that ball in the air. Holmes is calling it. And he makes the catch for the second out. Broadbent just working on that mound. And the way he delivers, too, he's just, like I said, nonchalant.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not throwing like 60 miles per hour. That gas is coming from his hand.
Yeah, and what's impressive to me is he hasn't really featured that slurve we've seen of his either. It's just been fastball, and more fastball. So he has more in his arsenal that the Indians aren't even seeing, and so that really benefits him later should he finish off this game in the seventh. He has that nasty breaking ball.
Davey Duncan now steps up to the plate. Took the first pitch for a ball low.
Duncan 0 for 2. He popped out to the first baseman, St. Martin, in his first at-bat, and he flew out to center his second at-bat.
Took that for a strike. I really want to see St. Martin on the mound.
Yeah.
I know he's playing a position right now, first base, but I really want to see him pitch.
Honestly, they could switch because Broadbent plays first.
Exactly. Had to do a little twist around on that pitch. 2-1 the count.
And was really impressive about the Rockhounds in pool play was they came in with the lowest runs allowed, and we saw throughout the season that the Rockhounds had trouble pitching, and so to see that in the 3 games of pool play they only allowed 11 runs, that was definitely a bright spot to see. And then Carson's performance in the semifinals allowed them to reach this point as he threw 6 of the 7 innings, struck out 13.
That ball misses and he walks, so 2 outs but runner on first. And like you mentioned, it's kind of like the underdog kind of thing. When you put them under a pressure situation, they seem to exceed. I can't think of an example in the majors right now, but it's like kind of the opposite of the Dodgers. They're really good in the season. They're the best team. That yada, 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 can't make it past the NLDS. Same like the Nationals, But like opposite, obviously. When it matters, they kind of seem to, go to
another level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would kind of compare it to the Cleveland Cavs in the regular season. Like they kind of coast, and then they have that turn-on switch or the old Miami Heat teams with LeBron.
As you point to our producer, Anthony, who's a huge LeBron fan. Strike. This is Broadbent's first time pitching out of the stretch now. Runner on first.
Yeah, that's definitely a good observation to make, is that when you're in the stretch for the first time, some pitchers, it throws with them because they're so comfortable out of the windup that the shorter motion messes with their accuracy. But getting ahead 0-2 to Acosta here, Broadbent looks pretty comfortable.
Ball misses. 1-2 the count. Great take by Acosta.
Yeah, I think Acosta, being a catcher, being in the Solano system, he knew that him down 0-2, he probably wasn't going to get something good to hit, so he was patient, took that one on the outside corner. I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped a slurve here.
smacks that ball to center field. Nunez is under it, and he makes the running catch, and Acosta is retired on that play. Broadbent, great work for him in the 6th / kind of 8th inning, and we will be right back in the bottom of the 6th. And welcome back, everyone, here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kevin Sandry now stepping up to the plate. Rockhounds lead the Indians 4-2. Sandry smacks that ball into right field, and he is at first with a single.
That's actually Pridey.
Oh, excuse me. I'm literally looking at Pridey. I'm just saying Sandry.
It's all right. Your brain's still not fully...
Is it
It's
ever
still
fully
melted.
working?
It's still partially melted, I guess, as Pridey hits his second single in 3 at-bats. As there you see, he also grounded out.
Yeah, I always talk about Pridey. You know, I did that on purpose. I meant to just give a little shout-out to Sandry. Nunez now up to the plate. That is Mickey Nunez, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, he's got the double flaps because I believe he's a switch hitter.
He has to be if you're going to wear double. Because if you're just going to wear double flaps, if you're just a left-handed hitter, as he fouls that off.
Actually, no, Solano's helmets are all double flapped.
Well, you're right. Looking at Vinny's helmet right now.
Yeah. But that's kind of strange. You usually see one-sided hitter only have the single flap. But hey, I guess if you're going to just reuse the helmets over and over, it's better to have 2 flaps so anybody can wear it with that head size rather than just only right-handed people with this size head can wear this one. Yeah.
I haven't really seen anyone on the Rockhounds with like a really big head. Kind of want to point it out now. As Nunez hits that into right field, and that ball hits on the bottom of the wall. Pridey rounds second, heads to third, and the stop sign is held for him. So Nunez has a beautifully hit stand-up double.
Yeah, and Nunes was flying around those base paths.
He was trying to go third, and
yeah. But probably hadn't even reached third by the time Nunes was rounding second. And it was kind of funny, a little moment. You can kind of hear oh my God, I'm blanking. Coach Stover, now who's Brady's Milton, just say he just do something to advance the runner, and then so he hits a double into the right field that advanced the runner. So
it kind of reminded me of, I can't remember the exact day or who was it. It was Yadier Molina, and the runner behind him passed him, and then who said that nonsense as there's a pitching change now.
Yeah, that'll do it for Caparol as he finishes with 5+ innings. 4 runs have come across. He is responsible for the 2 on the base paths, and we'll try to get a look at the jersey number of the new pitcher, number 9. So number 9 is David Gustafson, and we saw him warming up earlier, South Nazarene University. 6'2", 185, so he'll take some warm-up tosses here as it is still a safe situation, so the Rockhounds would love to put some insurance runs to really solidify this title in the Solano Invitational. And since we have this little break, let's thank all of the teams who were involved with the Solano Invitational in 2017. The Sierra Nevada Wolves, the West Coast Kings, and the Auburn Wildcats. They failed to make the playoff rounds out of pool play, but the Wildcats were 2-2. The West Coast Kings were 1-3. Sierra Nevada Wolves 1-2. Not good enough to make it into the semifinals. All 4 teams making it to the semifinals were 2-1 in pool play. Rockville Rockhounds and Fairfield Indians, these 2 facing off, were the first and second teams respectively. So also give a shout out to NBO Baseball and the Solano Mudcats for reaching the semifinals in this tournament. It's been a really fun championship game.
It really it has. I mean, from what I saw, since I came a little late, it's been I came when it started to get a little poppin', so
yeah.
I'm the good luck charm. Thank you very much.
Hey, when it's just me, they were down 2-0.
Exactly.
So.
It's not the hits or anything. It wasn't broadband at all.
No, not talent, hard work. It was just broadcaster jinxes and whatnot.
Not broadcaster jinx. It was Sawad Balazi jinx,
yeah, okay.
Brian. Also, I'd like to thank everyone for watching and staying in tune with us and the Rockhounds this summer. It's been so much fun for me doing play-by-play and color with either Chris or Brian or whomever I'm doing it with. It's just been amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fun time to see how this team has grown and changed throughout the summer. That's what I really like about these summer baseball leagues is the rosters are really fluid, so you get somebody like Brand Frazier coming in mid-season and making an impact. Pitchers like Jason Allen, or Jason Wooch, Jake Allen, coming in, making impactful contributions to the team.
Vinny swings and misses on that pitch. So it's now 0-2, a quick 0-2 to Vinny. Also, another thing I noticed, because we got Brian over here with the stats, of course, but that's boring. Who wants to know about stats? Obviously, I'm here for the looks. Vinny rocking the very, very, very loose bottoms, because we usually see him with the really, really tight, pants. Our producer and reporter McKenna are laughing at me, but I just bring out facts, guys. As Vinny took that pitch for a ball, 1-2 the count. Pops that foul.
Can't believe you said stats are boring.
I'm just kidding.
So hurtful.
I'm just kidding.
That hurt me in my soul.
Are you Brian Nelson or Brian Kenny? Because he's a saves guy.
Oh.
He's like stats master. You're
Gotcha.
welcome. It's a compliment.
You're welcome, all MLB Network fans / SCSN viewers.
I at least knew the reference, so there you go.
I eventually got it once I realized who you were talking about. It's like, who's Brian Kenny? Oh, yeah, that guy.
That guy. Oh, that's a comp. There you go. I just did a broadcaster's comp.
I'm more of a Roflo kind of guy. I love Robert Flores.
I'm just kidding. I love him. He's really funny. I try to be Matt Vasgersian as Vinny hits that to the second baseman and is retired for the first out. Again, we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rockhounds lead the Indians 4-2 as Broadman. I had another little meltdown. Frazier steps up to the plate. The catcher, not the pitcher.
Yeah, and Frazier had the big hit in the 4th inning to put the Rockhounds up by 2 after tying the game with 2 runs earlier. Margiotta singled, and Pridey got thrown out trying to score. That set up runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, and Frazier singled home both Nunez and Margiotta. He also grounded out, so he's 1 for 2, single, 2 RBIs.
He hits that ball up the middle for another base hit. And on that scores Jack Pridey, and here comes the speedy Mickey Nunez, and he scores too. So it's 6-2 now. It looked like just Jack was going to score, but like we've said throughout the whole game, Mickey has that type of speed that's just untouchable, and he was on Pridey's back.
Yeah, and it was just, I think it was wise scouting of who the center fielder is, because the center fielder is a speed guy, so he covers a lot of ground, but he's not necessarily an arm strength type of outfielder. So with that slow chopper up the middle, even though Hughes has the speed to get to the ball quickly, he doesn't have the arm strength to throw out the speedy Nunez. And so Frazier, 4 RBIs out of the 9 hole. You don't really pencil that in when you make a lineup that, I'm going to get 4 RBIs out of my 9-hole hitter, but
you're a catcher, you're going to be in the squat the whole time. You're hitting 9, by the way, and you're going to have 4 RBIs.
just how Stover drew it up.
And that's a wild pitch, so Frazier advances to 2nd very easily.
So Gustafson wild there. Acosta couldn't block that one.
Not really a solid inning for the relief pitcher, David Gustafson. But for the Rockhounds, of course, he'll take anything.
Yeah, coming in, that's a tough spot to put a relief pitcher in. 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out, and try to get a scoreless inning. That's really hard to do, and he wasn't able to do it. But, great opposite field approach by Fossalina.
Frazier was thinking about going home on that, but has a stop sign quickly put on him.
Yeah, good call by Coach Robbie Rogers. Save the catcher from himself. He wanted to be Mickey and score from 2nd. He wanted to turn on those Jets, but Coach Rogers held up that stop sign, I think, to the benefit of everybody here.
I mean, Frazier would have been, I feel like he would have been out.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he took 1 step past 3rd base. It would have been a funny pickle, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, not for him or Stover or the Rockhounds.
Yeah. I mean, Fossalina could have went to 2nd. That
there you
go. You know?
There's always
I was trying to look on the bright side.
Exactly. As that pitch misses, so it evens up the count 1-1. It's a beautiful day. It's not really too hot because we have a little breeze. And that ball is hit and splits the outfielders easily. Is Frazier going to be able to score? Fossalina rounds 3rd, hustling, and he scores. And Willie Holmza has a 2 RBI stand-up double.
Yeah, with Holmza going the opposite way with that approach, Fossalina had a great read on the flight of that ball, so he knew that was going to split right between the left fielder and the center fielder, so he scored pretty easily with his speed. And Frazier can just trot home instead of try to hustle his way.
It was so funny because literally Frazier trotted home and Fossalina right behind him hustling. You see the hair flowing and not really, like I said, not a solid inning for Gustafson. And you can tell like, he's mad with himself being the last game of the season. You never want to end. I know it's the last game, but you never want to end it on a sour note.
Yeah. So the Rockhounds score 4 in the 4th, 4 in the 6th. They lead by 6 now in the bottom of the 6th.
Max Smith now up to the plate with 2 strikes on his belt.
And they're not done with 1 out in the heart of the lineup.
And that ball is hit into center field. Hughes is under it and makes the 2nd out. Throws over to third. So Holmes has to stay put at second.
Yeah, Holmes just safe base run in there. I think if it was like a tie ball game, he would have tried to maybe tag in advance, as you never know what could happen. We've seen wild pitches from Gustafson, but 6-run ball game. You're still in scoring position. You have a great hitter, Grant St. Martin, up right now. No need to test anything.
Yeah, no need to just do unnecessary things. St. Martin, another big boy in the lineup. Just the way his body's built, you can throw him anything and he'll just, if it's his pitch, he's going to hit it over the wall. That was an uncomfortable check swing.
I would definitely avoid the inside with St. Martin. If you keep it away and away and away, you'll neutralize his power a little bit.
Another check swing by St. Martin, so he's down in the count now. 1-2. Kind of not like St. Martin to see him do those half check swings. And a full swing, and he strikes out on that pitch as he foul tipped it back to the catcher. And the Rockhounds are finally retired, but they do now lead 8-2, and we'll be right back in the top of the 7th inning. All right, and welcome back, everyone, here in the top of the 7th inning. Broadbent back on the mound. 1 button down. Almost like 7 buttons down, actually. That pitch for a strike. Ike Brown now stepping up to the plate, pinch hitting.
Yeah, number 28, Ike Brown, for Jason Paquet. And this being the last half inning for the Indians, you really got to empty your bench if you have any solid hitters. You don't get 6 runs on one swing of the bat, so they're going to need to rally here against Broadbent. Excuse me.
That was a little swing that went foul. 1-2 the count now. Again, the Rockhounds lead 8-2 here in the top of the 7th inning.
And I gave kudos to their pitching earlier in the game, but this game, 2 hits allowed, 2 walks. And there, strike 3 looking. He looked very impressive by Kirby Broadbent in relief, as he's only walked 1 batter in his 2 1/3 innings of work. And there you see
it's
the
not
wind blowing
flattering.
Up. Yeah.
But you know what? If you
Whatever
feel
works.
if you feel good, if you feel sexy, do you? And that ball is hit into right field, and Smith is under it. Charging it and catching it was Max Smith, so a quick 2 outs here.
So down to the last out for the Fairfield Indians here in the championship game of the Solano Invitational.
Sean Jackson now stepping up to the plate.
He looks to extend this game.
2-out rally, never unheard of, so it's possible. First pitch for a strike, so 0-1 the count to Jackson.
But you know the Rockhounds will love to celebrate on their field as the host team of this tournament.
What kind of celebration do you think? Like, is it like popping bottles, going shirtless, doing the moonwalk, stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to pop bottles on the field. Who knows if they'll go shirtless.
That ball is hit to Margiota, and he throws to St. Martin, not able to get his foot down on first base quick enough. Jackson is safe. Frazier not really happy on that play. Wanted that to be the last hitter.
Well, yeah, you can understand catching. I'm not sure if Frazier caught the first game, but if he caught the first game, that's 14 innings in the sitting down in the squat there.
I can't even squat for like 1 inning. So I was trying to be like 5. No, I can't even do it for a 1 inning. And it's like they have to be down there the whole game. Same with the umpire, home plate umpire.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting his little mini squat too. 1-0 the count now. Jackson goes. No throw. So a defensive indifference for Jackson. A stat that I hate very much.
Well, you don't want to give guys stolen bases.
I say it's a stolen base.
Why?
Because he stole a base.
But the defense literally does not care whatsoever.
Nor do I, but
But then
I just never, like, growing up when I was younger and my dad teaching me stats and whatever, I never, like, understood it. Like, why is there even a stat? Like, why can't you just give it to a stolen base? And my dad would say the same thing. Like, the defense doesn't care. But I just didn't like it as a kid.
Because it pads your stats. And
Yeah.
so now Ricky Henderson, if he played now, like, his stolen base record could be tainted if somebody just keeps stealing second base and third base when they don't really
you
care.
throw Ricky in my face. You're right.
You know, like you gotta if you're gonna beat Ricky Henderson, and
You gotta
like,
beat him.
You gotta beat him. You know.
Brian here with the stats again.
Yeah, and plus, like, not to get too technical, but like in contract situations, if like you show somebody, hey, I'm a 20-20 guy, when you don't actually steal bases, you just take second base when you're losing by 6.
And Sandry gets the ball and throws to St. Martin for the final out, and
like Smith threw his glove in the air, like woohoo.
Nunez as well. So a little mini celebration on the mound. Great to see the Rockhounds celebrate like this. It's just very heartwarming, and I love seeing kids have, well, I say kids are older than me, but I like seeing them have fun.
Yeah.
And the Indians, I mean, you can't put your head down. You made it this far to the championship.
Yeah.
You lost to Shore in the fourth inning, but you made it this far. Congrats to them for making it this far. Congrats to the Rockhounds for winning. What did you see today?
Yeah, I just saw an excellent pitching performance. The Rockhounds really played their best ball of the summer here in the tournament. It was evident in the stats coming up to it in pool play. It was evident in their win against the Mudhouse in commanding form. And here, 8-2, offense, pitching, defense, no defensive miscues that I can think of. So
I could, yeah.
A really complete game, and they really played their best ball towards the end of the summer, and that's what you like to see. You end on a high note. You end on a championship here at the Solano Invitational.
Man, I'm kind of sad. You keep saying end, and this is the end.
This is the end.
Last game of the season. They're all going to scurry away to their colleges, whether it's Rice, Brown, New Mexico, or come back to play for the Falcons in the spring. But it's been great watching them. It's been great reporting for them. And on behalf of the entire staff here, Poff, Anthony, Brian, myself, McKenna, everyone here, it's been a great summer. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, and we'll be back with an interview with our Best Buy player of the game with Sawad Balazi.
Hey guys, I'm Sawad Balazi with the Solano College Sports Network. I'm here with the Best Buy player of the game, Brant Frazier. So Brant, you went 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs, hitting in the 9th hole. When you were rounding second on the 4th RBI, what were you thinking? Take me through that at bat.
Well, you know, it was up. My teammates got on base, gave me the opportunity. I was just trying to think up the middle, you know, stay on it a little bit. The guy had a little bit more juice than the first guy, so I was trying to stay middle of the field.
And you split the time catching with, the other catchers and stuff like. Yeah, Zach Bartlemy.
Did a great job this summer.
Oh yeah. So when you have to split time, what do you take in mind?
I'd say when you're in there, focus on everything, catching, receiving, throwing, blocking. But when you're out, you can finally get to rest up your legs a little bit. So it's nice to have a break.
And where are you going after the summer?
I'm going back to Rice University for my redshirt junior year.
So what are you going to take from this summer to Rice?
Hopefully what I learned while playing here, take it out there on the college field, and hopefully I can do well for my university.
Thanks, Brant. And thanks, guys, behind me. The Rockhounds beat the Indians 8-2. We'll see you guys next summer.